Hello everybody and welcome to Whyde Family Farm. Okay, so it's cooling down quite a bit. Usually is not this cool in June. It's actually beautiful. The wind is blowing and the weather is just, it's so beautiful. It's really a good thing for this before summer actually hits. I'm going to go ahead and show you the garden. Let's take a closer look. Oh, look at this. Guys, my rose bush is blooming and I'm so excited about this. I got this rose bush. It was like a $7 rose bush at Menards, and it's blooming and it's absolutely beautiful, and it actually smells good too. I was really super excited about that. This is my flower bed. I still don't have my marigolds, but my petunias have popped. And I have my miniature coxcomb that hasn't bloomed over here yet either. But if you come over here, I got some zinnias blooming, and look at my miniature coxcomb. So adorable. I have my Cupid zinnias, which were supposed to be all pink. I don't understand it, but they're here and they're absolutely beautiful, and they look so great in this pot. Okay, so coming over here, I had a big issue with ants. I've learned a little something about borage. Borage draws in the ants. It also draws in bees and hummingbirds and all different kinds of stuff. And that's why I wanted it planted on the corners of my garden. I even told myself if it spreads, that's okay. I'll just rip it out, right? So far, I don't see any eggs on here as far as that's concerned. And I'm looking underneath the leaves. No eggs, nothing like that. Typically, ants will aphid farm, and they will take aphid eggs and they'll place them on your leaves, and then when they hatch, they'll come back and eat them. Ants are very smart as far as that's concerned. And I gave it a couple days just to take a look and see what the ants were actually doing. And to be quite honest, I think they're just really, really loving the borage. They're beautiful. You can actually eat them. They taste like cucumbers. And so far, I haven't seen any really big negative activity. Ants, however, do pollinate, and some peonies actually need ants to actually open up their blooms and to pollinate them, to push them out. So sometimes ants aren't a bad thing in your garden. You just have to look out for it. So far, I haven't seen anything bad as of yet. I was concerned by all the ants, but since I don't see any eggs, I'm not that worried about it. Moving on, this is my second actually, herb bed. And I have Italian parsley. My rosemary is taken off beautifully. I have chamomile down here, and it's actually doing really good. And I have calendula here. I have over here lovage, some thyme. I have some more borage. I have borage over here as well. And I have some basil, some lettuce leaf basil, and some Genovese basil over here. And I'm going to probably wait till it moves up a couple more inches, and then I'm going to actually harvest it for the first time. And over here is just a regular oregano. And this oregano is going to get pulled out at the end of the year and is going to be an herb for my birds specifically. Here I have regular onions, and I just planted those in the beginning of spring, and they're doing good. But I probably won't be eating a little mini onion for a while yet. All right, so my garden is doing absolutely tremendous. This is my strawberries. These are the Alexander strawberries from Baker Creek, and they're actually doing wonderful. However, I don't know if I will get strawberries on them this year. I am happy to announce, though, that the strawberries my husband bought me are doing great, and I actually have some strawberries hanging there, so that's pretty good. Chocolate bootlaw, ghost peppers, and of course our goldfish experiment here with the goldfish container, and this pepper is probably doing the best out of all of them. Some more peppers over here. I have cayenne, jalapeno, and another triple X. Oh look, I got some sunflowers blooming. Celery is going to go to seed, and I'm going to collect the seeds. Maybe I will plant this again in the fall. My other celery is not going to seed. This one is actually doing really good, so I'm going to keep it in the ground. And in between, I have my dragon tongue bush beans. And those look absolutely wonderful. My onions are doing great, and they're getting bigger day by day. I got carrots in here, and I also have those China Gold. I think it's China Rose radishes, and I'm waiting actually for the pods to get on here, and I'm going to try some of the pods and eat them because I was told that they're absolutely wonderful. We have some zucchini. I have a maple tree. And some pumpkins. These are sugar pie pumpkins. And they're doing great. Over here, I planted some more zinnias. I planted some borage there. Some borage here, and in between is some marigolds. In between here, I have all my peppers. My peppers are not doing so hot. I thought they'd be bigger by now. These are kidney beans here, and I'm very disappointed. I got the seeds from my gardener. I followed the directions. I soaked them for 24 hours, and I planted them all along this edge here, all the way down. And I only got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5th one down there. So I only got 5 kidney beans out of a whole pack. So I'm kind of really disappointed in that. We had a ton of peppers left over, so my beans didn't pop up. So I planted these peppers along here. And these are also peppers. These are mini bells and d'Espinal peppers. They're one of my favorites. And I'm hoping that everything survives. And then of course my 1 kidney bean that survived. And then I planted some more sunflowers, some marigolds and stuff down here. This is the Shed Wars experiment here. And we have the tomato over here in the hay bale that is doing absolutely wonderful. So far everything's looking good. Let's go over to the main beds. Okay, first herb bed, and it's doing wonderful in there. I need to pull some stuff. I got some Genovese basil down in there that is getting swamped out. So I really need to get in here and pull some stuff. This is all cilantro, and I plan on saving the seeds. And I've got a whole bunch of stuff in here. Cilantro to Genovese basil, and I need to get in there and start picking. This is rhubarb, and I had a huge stem coming up. It was gonna go to flower, and I cut that back. And then of course I have some dill that is coming up as well. Over here, this is lemon balm, which I can harvest, and these are my toothache plants. And as soon as I start pulling those, or whatever, I'm going to make a tincture out of that. Rocky top lettuce. These are my carrots. I showed you a picture in the community page of my carrots already. I have some Swiss chard over there, and this is a volunteer potato. It just came up again, and I didn't really know what to do with it, so we decided to just leave it in the ground. These things that you see flying around are not butterflies. Those white moths lay the eggs for the cabbage worm, and the cabbage worm will eat you up overnight, and I don't like that. these are still Brussels sprouts. And I have some broccoli and stuff, but it's just not doing anything, guys. I don't think it will. It's too hot. The weather has changed dramatically. This is my second year carrot, and I plan on saving the seeds from that. And the blooms on them are super pretty. Take a look at that. Second year carrot. Super pretty. My nasturtium all along in here, and it's blooming a lot. It's crazy. My butternut squash, and it's doing absolutely amazing. I'm so proud of it. I can't wait to get some squash from it, because what I'm going to do then is I'm going to eat it. I can't wait to see what it's actually going to taste like fresh. Carrots, this is the Whyde Family Farm carrot challenge. So that is the carrots for the experiment. Of course, I have my spearmint there. And our raspberries are blooming and actually coming ripe. Let's take a look over here. And you can see the red in there. So pretty soon I will have a ton of raspberries. Super awesome, guys. Over here, I was really concerned. I was concerned because I planted a ton of purple asparagus in here and nothing had popped up. And then all of a sudden, bam, first year asparagus. This is first year asparagus, guys. And when you plant asparagus, you cannot eat it in the first year. It's probably even best to eat it in the third year because it's super small. So I'm going to let it take over the bed. I planted more than just those two, so I'm hoping more pops up, and I think it did. Over here I got one that it went to seed and it's flowering, and then of course this one is out of control. This was here before us, so a little bit out of control. Our tomatoes are doing absolutely wonderful, and because we've had all this rain, they're growing up tremendously. And pretty soon, my husband has taken all the suckers off, but pretty soon we're going to have to start staking them up to the cattle panel fence here. Here is garlic, and we tested our garlic. I'll show you a picture. We tested the garlic to see if it was doing anything, and it absolutely is. We got a good bulb size in there, so I'm really excited about that. This bed we planted in March. Over down this row here, I have Armenian cucumbers. And I have ground cherries. And they looks to be doing good. Some tomatoes here, and I'm gonna have to get in here today and do a pea harvest. The peas are ready, and they got big thick peas in there, and they're really good. So I'm gonna go in here and pick all these peas. Look at that, that's crazy. They're doing absolutely wonderful. So I'll be eating those here soon. This is chocolate mint. What happened was the chocolate mint I got from Sarah right here, I didn't think it was going to survive. So I went to a market and got another one. So I have this one here, and then I have this one here. And they smell so good. And I can't wait to harvest some of that to make teas and stuff from. This is just a hodgepodge here. I had a ton of flowers left over. So I had giant coxcomb and Mexican sunflowers in this pot. This is orange mint. These are some tomatoes that we had left over. My husband staked them up. And then these are our purple potatoes. Here. Our garden is actually doing really good. There are some things I'm absolutely surprised about, and there are some other things I'm not really all that surprised about, but it's working out. Let me show you what else I have going on. We have elderberry, and this one fell over because it's raining. It was windy. But we have elderberry that we need to plant. These are all snippets from our bush that we cut down, and we made more. We have some Aunt Molly's ground cherries right here. The wind is really taking these off. You gotta put them down on the ground or something. Aunt Molly's ground cherries, which we're gonna put in our food forest and see if they come back every year. I have some randoms down here. This is a stevia that I started in January, and it's doing wonderful right there. This is mountain cranberries, and they're doing absolutely wonderful. They're just really slow. I have some that are bigger than others, and my mountain cranberries are doing really good. Here I have some valerian root right here, and I don't know really where I want to put this yet. I think I'm going to put it in my herb bed. I might regret that. I'm not sure, but I do want to harvest that, and I think I'm just going to put it in my herb bed. Over here, we had a ton of T-posts from the backyard. I don't know if you guys are familiar with our yard, but it goes way back. And over here was a pig barn back here. You can't really see it. And then all that area back there was fenced in for the pigs. And so we don't have pigs. And we are slowly taking apart that pig barn and the pig huts that were back there as well. And using them for other projects. So we had a bunch of these T-posts. The only thing we had to buy was this wire for the fencing, and we made a special area for my son to play in, and it's pretty cool. And then my husband made this gate right here and put that up, and my son is going to have a really nice place to play when we're outside, basically. All right, and let's move on. Okay, so for those that don't know already, I absolutely love flowers. It's one of my favorite things. So I'm going to show you some flowers. This isn't much, but these are irises, and they were starting to get a blight on them. And so what I did is I cut all the blight off, and I cut them way back and way down. Some of them didn't have that blight, so I left it. But yeah, I cut them way back after they bloomed. This is coxcomb. This is the cutest little beach chair, and I have some alyssum actually that popped up in there, but the coxcomb, hopefully it will start blooming soon. This was a complete accident, and it was the greatest accident ever. I had last year a pot of poppies here and a pot like over there, and they died on me, and I was like, okay. So I moved the pots out, and this year the poppies came, and they grew any which way they wanted to. And I did have some right here, but I chopped them down because it looked really sloppy. But I have some white ones over here, and these ones over here are called American Legion, and they're absolutely beautiful. I love the red ones. And of course in this pot I have miniature coxcomb, and I have some marigolds, and hopefully this marigold will bloom here soon. Over here I also have a iris that I chopped down as well. And I planted these from seed. I didn't think they would do anything. These are impatiens, and they are starting to bloom, and I'm actually really happy with them. I know it doesn't look like much now, but eventually, and these all have buds on them, eventually the whole pot will be full of impatiens. All right, let's go ahead and go down here. Okay, so these are our cherry trees, and these ones bloom first in the row. And when they bloom, you can't eat them. They immediately turn like this and get nasty. And I don't know why. So we're in the process of figuring that out, guys. If you can tell me what I need to do to my trees to be able to eat edible cherries, please let me know. Over here, I have tons of cherries, and they are ripe and probably will not make it by the end of the day if the birds get a hold. Let's see. Oops, dropped one. This one had absolutely no wormholes in it, so I'm gonna try it. These are tart, and then the other ones are sweet. So I have sweet and tart cherries. Okay, so I absolutely love cherries. I'm really hoping there's not a bug in here, so I'm gonna like pry it open first. Tart. For those that don't know, tart cherries are very, very good for diabetes and inflammation. And if you have gout, very good for gout too. Very tart. I don't know if you can see them, guys, but I have tons of cherries all over. And right now is the time to pick. I'm gonna send my husband out here and say, please pick some of these cherries because these ones are perfect. The sweet ones, not so much. I have my white picket fence. I added a birdhouse to it. These are zinnias and marigolds. And then down here I have my moonflower, and it is getting big. And once it gets big enough, I'm going to train it up here on my white picket fence. Okay, so this is the side of the property we don't show too often. These are blueberries. We planted these last year, and yeah. Oh my gosh, those cherries were so good. We planted these last year. They're really small yet, but this one has a ton of blueberries on it, and it's actually doing really good. Our second blueberry bush is here, and it is doing okay this year. It's not anything I'm gonna brag about. There are some blueberries, and we've actually had better blueberry days on these, but here's some here. And then this one over here is a different type of blueberry. It's called pink lemonade. Blueberry pink lemonade. And we got some blueberries on it. Usually they get all eaten before you can even harvest. And we got actually way more than we've had in the past on here. So I can't wait to try some of these and eat them. Going down this row here, we have more blueberry bushes, all underneath the pine trees. And some of them are really doing better than others. Here we have wild blackberries, and we leave these here, and every year we chop them down, but they're starting to get a ton of buds on them. These are black currants, and they do tremendously every year. It's insane. Black currant here, and you can see some of these need to be clipped back, but you can see here, I mean, they're just everywhere. And we have them here, and some of them are actually going ripe, which is cool. And then over here, elderberry, guys, lots of elderberry. This was one of the bushes that we chopped down. Didn't think it was gonna come back, and I was really freaked out about that. But we have tons of elderberry. So that's gonna be awesome. Let's see if we can see a sneak peek of the ducks. Hi, ducks. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. We will see you all in our next video. And our next live is Wednesday night, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we hope to see you all then, and have a great day.